Live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective to current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truths centered around real estate, credit, finance, home staging, estate plans, so much more. Tampa Bay's #1 consumer activist. Here, we want to help you live a better life and ultimately engage with you. So I don't care if you're throwing a ladder in your truck on the way to work or if you're climbing that corporate ladder. You know, we want to help you as your #1 consumer advocate in Tampa Bay. Our goal is to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
And I want you to pull out your smartphone. I want you to save this number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. It's our Consumer Advocate Hotline at 813-917-1894. And if at any time during this show today you feel like you might want to chime in or you need advice, go ahead and text or call. And if you get our voicemail, we might play your voicemail on the air with our Ask the REQB segment here. So we will to pull out that smartphone, save 813-917-1894. Save that in your phone. All right, and this segment is brought to you by Freedom Boat Club. It's the official recreation partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Say hello to Mike Craig for special incentives. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Also, shouts out to Tampa Limo and Car. Every day we record this show, we have a great time. We limo over to Hula Bay. It's our official restaurant partner as well in South Tampa. One of the best-kept secrets down in South Tampa. Waterfront dining, a great ambiance to enjoy that wonderful atmosphere of South Florida that we're afforded here in one of the best Tri-City areas in the United States. It's Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, and all the way down to Fort Myers, Naples. Say hello to our friends down there as well. All right, we got an all-star lineup here today. I've got Rosetta Warren in studio with Feels Like Home staging and redesign. Welcome into the studio, Rosetta.
Thank you, Brandon, for having us. And yes, it feels like home. We plan on touching on a couple things today, just on different types of staging and how we can help the consumers out there. Absolutely.
I appreciate you bringing those nuggets of advice for our consumers out there in the whole Gulf Coast market here, Tampa all the way down to Naples. And also back in studio, Mr. Mac Tennant, Access Reverse Mortgage. Welcome back in, sir.
Thanks very much, Brandon. It's good to be here. We're going to talk about some of the misinformation out there on reverse mortgages, this great product, how to buy a home with it, how to get a backup line of credit, or pay off your existing mortgage. So look forward to it.
That's right. That's the goal of this show, too, to combat that nonsense out there in the mainstream media and all these other sources, with Google and these other areas as well. So also back in studio, Jason Salmon.
Always great to be here. Today we have another edition of Ask the Real Estate Quarterback, as well as some great news in real estate and business, so stay tuned.
Yeah, we're going to touch on an interesting article here as well now. It says you can now invest in real estate even if you're not Donald Trump. So we got some information on that. And before we jump into this content, I want to touch on a couple of hot listings that literally just hit MLS. We've got 1938 Barbara Avenue in Clearwater. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property reduced down to $169. A great opportunity. It's positioned on a bluff there. So definitely no issues with flooding there at that property. And also we have 0 Rowan Road just listed. This is a large tract of land for any developers, any business folks out there looking to or may have contacts in that space. This is $2.185 million in 0 Rowan Road in Newport Richey. And it's prime opportunity to develop in the greater Tampa area. It's in Pasco County, just 45 to 60 minutes north here of the Tampa airport. And also 219 18th Avenue in Indian Rocks Beach, a gorgeous 2-bedroom, 2-bath townhome with the lovely sky deck upstairs, up top, where you can see the gorgeous views of the beach, and more up to a 65-foot vessel at this beautiful property here. $570,000, Indian Rocks Beach, 219 18th Avenue. And if you're on YouTube, check it out. You'll see the awesome video that our droneographer, Darren Moretti, created for this beautiful property, 219 18th Avenue, Indian Rocks Beach. So for this or any of your real estate questions, also utilize realestateradiotampa.com as a resource. You can see links to all of our preferred partners in studio. Again, over 50 show partners now associated with the Real Estate Quarterback Show. So let's jump into this great content. I got some experts in studio. It's an all-star lineup. This is intelligent talk radio that you're dialed into, and I've got some intelligent folks in studio. So Rosetta, you are in studio here today. Feels like home staging and redesign. Tell us a little bit more about how you can help. Now, this is to help these sellers out there typically position their properties to not build those days on the market up, and then the buyers are thinking, man, something must be wrong with this property. This is a way to hit the MLS properly and position your home to sell at this top dollar.
Absolutely. And, some of the things that a lot of stagers want to get across is that, there's so many different options that we offer, from just a consultation, and that working consultation could just give them the real idea of what's involved in getting that home ready to sell. And there's 3 different types of staging, really, if you look at it. There's vignette staging, which could be just a dabble in each room, or there could be some light staging that's done. And sometimes, it does require you to do the full design staging based on, the square footage of the home and the property and how well we want it to sell and how fast.
Right.
So, really there are so many different avenues and options that stagers can offer that, it feels like home feels like they make that happen with the unique side of things and what we can offer in the different quality of services.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great opportunity. When you hit that MLS, it's important to put your best foot forward. A lot of times we've all heard of these looky-loo buyers out there. And now, what happens is, too, on the selling side with the market, people are seeing, again, that mainstream media is kind of getting the wrong message out in some cases. You got looky-loo sellers. They say, oh, well, let me just price it. I think the proper price would be $550,000, but let's see if I can get $625,000 out of it. And then what happens is the days on the market accumulate. So those cumulative days on the market that a buyer agent's going to see, a savvy buyer agent, and they're going to say, oh yeah, we can go in there and lowball these people, or and then 200 days later they're wondering why their property hasn't sold, beating up their realtor.
Exactly.
But if they brought someone like you in the beginning, it would be a much different story.
Absolutely. And we have a track record of, selling homes, majority, I can't say always, and based on situation, but in 30 days. I mean, it's amazing what you can do just by putting furniture in a home. And it's not really about the style that you think belongs in that home.
Yep.
It's about what we do to make it sell and show the assets of that home.
Yeah, absolutely. It's some of the, and it's a lot of times it's not expensive.
No, it's very inexpensive. If you look at the consultation, think of it as your appraisal or your home inspection cost, and it really could be that minimal based on square footage.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's a lot of tips here for sellers as well. If you want to engage us, I want you to think of this show as the hub of your financial will, business will. And, we want to quarterback introductions for you and your family. Anything on that financial will. I don't care if it's estate plans, tax plans, no matter what you're facing. Hey, we're halfway through the year now. And, how long did those New Year's resolutions last for you? Are you still hitting the treadmill every morning? And what about your financial plan? That's something that we want to help you reach out and engage. Jason, we see a lot of times people put more time in their vacation plans than they do these different financial situations that they have in life.
Yeah, that's most definitely true. And I think, when it comes to staging, actually, part of what Rosetta was talking there is that, staging is huge, especially in some of these higher end homes. Think about a high end home that's vacant. Sometimes people don't have the imagination to really picture what that's supposed to look like, what it looks like when you truly live in it. Yep. And so that's where I think, home staging can be key. And so especially if there's any, high end homeowners out there who are thinking about listing their home, look into staging. It can be really huge to sell your home fast and at the right price.
Yeah, this is Rosetta Warren. Feels like home staging and redesign, and a partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. And again, we're positioned here to help you win in any marketplace. Sometimes in life you want to huddle up and call an audible. And, as Peyton Manning popularized that term there, and call an audible. If it's not working, if you're into, this situation, it's not working for you, reach out. That's what we're here for. We want to help you position to win. And ultimately, what other success stories maybe you have there, Rosetta?
Well, actually, just one even recently. I had a realtor call me that had never even used home staging before and gave it a shot. And he had 10 people coming to each one that I did. And he said, it's amazing. I have contracts on both already, and it's only been a week. So it's just the impact of that is just so substantial. And it also eliminates having to reduce your price. So you might as well make that small investment at the beginning so that you can get more at closing. That is so critical.
Yeah, one of the things also I learned at I took a certification course called Certified Negotiation Expert. So it's all about positioning properly up front. asking those open-ended questions when it comes to negotiation time. And, not much can be said in terms of, or not enough can be said in terms of presenting that proper, we've heard it, that first impression, right?
Well, it's funny you say that, because our tagline is because first impressions matter. And it's so true. They can walk into a vacant home and spend 5 minutes, and if it's staged, they'll spend 40 minutes in that home just because they want to see each room.
That's
so
right.
It's so critical to keep that and capture that for that first impression, because they won't be back.
Yeah, we're working on a nationally televised TV show as well that we're putting together, a reality TV show. But this would be a perfect, case study.
Yes.
Is some of the statistics that you have there as well. I know there's some facts and Q&As that you have. Maybe we'll jump into that on a next segment here. But
Sure.
Hey, that's Rosetta Warren. Feels Like Home Staging and Redesign. We're going to hear from Mac Tennant, Access Reverse Mortgage, and also Craig from the Alzheimer's Association. Then talking about the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and more from our experts in studio. Also, we're going to touch on you can now invest in real estate even if you're not Donald Trump. So we got a great lineup here. Again, we want you to think of us as the consumer advocate, consumer activist here. Reach out, engage us at our consumer advocate hotline. It's 813-917-1894. Any real estate related, finance, business related questions, text or call, and make sure you get to the red light before you text there. We don't want anybody driving unsafe out there. And so you're listening to a Real Estate Quarterback Show, Consumer Advocate. We're on Facebook.com/Real Estate Quarterback Show. We got a Savvy card out there, shows all of our profile and access to our partners on our Savvy card. You'll see that by simply texting REQB to 72889. Text REQB to 72889 to see that. And more from our experts in studio. You're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show. RealestateRadioTampa.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Real Estate Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty and Crush Craft Marketing. Brandon Rhymes here, host of the show. I'm a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine multiple times, recognized for my innovations with marketing, search engine optimization, YouTube video marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. And got a couple of hot listings here I want to touch on. 5907 Sheldon Road. Now, this is one of those fractured projects that a lot of investors might be looking for. So if you're an investor out there, perk your ears up here for a second. We got 5907 Sheldon Road. This is a property that the owner ran out of money, and it needs about another $10,000 to $15,000. It's got over 200 feet of waterfront right here in Tampa Bay, close to the airport, 5 minutes. You're going to take your boat out the channel there and go out to Hogan's Beach, Whiskey Joe's, all those cool restaurants right there, Bahama Breeze. Great opportunity at $175,000, just reduced. And also we've got 3128 Phoenix Avenue in Oldsmar. This is a beautiful, another waterfront property here, listing of mine, and it's just listed. Bring your boat to this beautiful waterfront home in lovely Oldsmar, Florida. Enjoy that Florida living. And also 5506 Beeman, Dew Loop, and Land Lakes. This is a 4-bedroom, 5 and 1/2 bath property. $1.275 million is the list price on this property. It's a custom-built, high-end home situated on gorgeous Lake Thomas in a private gated community. Beautiful boat dock, ski lake. Live that Florida lifestyle. Also, another dronography video completed by Darren Moretti with dronography. So pull it up on YouTube, search 5506 Beeman Do Loop to check out that awesome video that Darren created for us. And let's jump back into this great content. I asked Michael Lisenko, he's our safe money coach, to call in. A lot of geopolitical things happening in the news right now. We've got the issues happening in Greece. We got the Iran nuclear talks. Cuba just opened up relations. And to help us sort through a lot of this, I asked Michael Lisenko to call in, give us an update. Michael, what do we make of all this going on, man?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And one thing that we're seeing is that we have very little control over what's going on internationally, and yet our stock markets are tied and being affected by a lot of things that are going on in other countries right now, especially, like you said, Greece and Iran and Cuba. Just a lot of stuff geopolitically going on that are kind of pulling down our markets this week.
Yeah, there's that economy out there, and then there's the economy in between your own ears. And what you can do is position yourself. Take a look at your holdings. A lot of traditional, conventional wisdom is, hey, let's load up on the bonds, let's relax our stocks holdings. But, that could be counterintuitive. Is that right, Mike?
I think so. I think you always want to focus on interest rates and trying to get the best returns. One of the things that and I think this was kind of hidden a little bit this week, especially with Greece, is the fact that they actually froze their banking system. That's pretty scary because you got millions of dollars, billions of dollars in the banking system, and they froze everybody's assets.
Yeah, imagine.
For a week, and nobody could get. They actually limited the amount of money people could pull out of their own accounts for a week.
Yeah, $65 or something like that. Can you imagine trying to go get your money out of the bank and just being told, sorry, you can't have it. I know you're supposed to go buy groceries with that money, but your kids, no, sorry, they're going to have to go without milk.
Yeah, and I just think with what's going on, and I'm not saying that could happen in the United States. We've got different safeguards in place than Greece does, but it's just scary to me that the politically we've become so powerful that they can control the money that they have. Think about it. They have control over banking systems. They have control over the retirement systems like IRAs and 401ks. They control all of the places, or most of the places, I should say, where people have a majority of their money set aside for their own retirement. And the fact that the government can come in when it needs to and make decisions that affect us, it's pretty scary. It's kind of daunting. I think people just really need to go in eyes wide open and understand that we're not immune from this. This may be something that we need to be worried about down the road.
Yeah, Michael Lisenko, our safe money coach. So what would you say? What would be the number one thing for people to do? I mean, obviously, sit down with you, call you up, have a 5 to 10 minute quick conversation, or even a 30 to 45 minute sit down consultation with you, Michael. I mean, what would you say at this time to people out there that might be, there's different types of people in the world. There's people that hear this stuff and just keep rolling on with what they're doing and are complacent, or there's people out there that actually want to make a change and live a better life and protect their nest egg. So what would you say to those folks?
And exactly what you just said. I think that right now education is really king. To realize that a lot of the stuff that we've been told is and has been working really isn't, and there might be better things out there for people to look at. All we can do is give advice. All we can do is share ideas. It's up to individuals to decide what's best suited for their situation. But really to sit down, it doesn't cost anybody to sit down with us. We can walk through what they're currently doing. We can figure out what their goals and objectives are. and we can protect their money against a couple of different risks that people don't think about. Number one, market risk, stock market risk. Number two, tax risk. Number three, inflation risk. Number four, longevity risk. It's one thing people don't think about is the fear of outliving their money. There's a lot of risks in there, especially with our money that people don't think about.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So I would just say, give us a call, let us sit down, let's talk to you. If we have something that might benefit you, you can do it in conjunction with what you're currently doing. We'll take advantage of it. If not, hey, at least you'll be more equipped with knowledge about what to do.
Yeah, a lot of folks pull money out of their paycheck, throw it into their 401k, and they call that a retirement plan. I call it a good start, but it's not the retirement plan that you want. They have this junk drawer full of assets that they've collected over time. They bought something at maybe different periods of their life, and it's not all cohesive. It's not an actual game plan that you're going to be able to help them put there. And again, the quarterback here, what I want to do is I want to quarterback those introductions, and I tell you, Michael Lisenko, he's the best safe money coach I've ever worked with. And so if you want to raise your hand and you want to live a better life, let's do this. For the first 5 listeners who text in, go ahead and text Safe Money to our Consumer Advocate Hotline, and we're going to set you up with a free consultation, sit down, and it could potentially be over the phone if you want to just call up and talk to Michael or schedule a time to come into the office. Got a beautiful office there on Hillsborough Avenue. And go ahead and text Safe Money now for the first 5 listeners to 813-917-1894. That's our Consumer Advocate Hotline at 813-917-1894. Text Safe Money, and let's go ahead and develop a game plan to help you win in any marketplace, as we say.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Winning. It's all about winning. So, hey, Michael, thanks a lot. Appreciate you calling in, man. Appreciate those nuggets of
advice.
advice.
Have a nice 4th of July weekend, and God bless America.
Likewise. Yes, sir. Jason, any follow-up comments?
Yeah, actually, I want to touch on 2 things that Michael actually talked about. First is being the Greek situation. Specifically with the Greek situation, a lot of these people have their entire pensions tied up and have no access to them, except exactly what you mentioned, the 60 euros a day. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate on this one a little bit, though. Michael mentioned, that we have capital controls and things here in the United States that may be able to protect us, from bank holidays and things like that.
Yep.
The only thing, though, is bank holidays have happened in the United States before. When the Great Depression happened, actually, they called a bank holiday on a Friday in order to kind of stem the flow of money out of banks.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the referendum vote actually comes up this weekend for the Greek people to decide on whether or not they're going to do this. And so I think it's huge that they think about what's best for the Greek people, not what's best for the banks.
Yeah, let's touch on that. Let's follow that conversation up. And when we come back, we're going to jump into some great content here as well with Malcolm Tennant with Access Reverse Mortgage. Craig's in studio as well with the Alzheimer's Association. And we're going to touch on this story as well. You can now invest in real estate even if you're not Donald Trump. Talks about crowd fundraising and things of that nature. So you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. You're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate platform here in Tampa Bay, helping make you just a bit more street smart. We want to help you live a better life and sort through a lot of that nonsense out there in the mainstream media and provide you the timely truth centered around everything real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, home staging, right on down the line. We've got over 50 show partners now associated with the Real Estate Quarterback Show, and we got a TV show coming out. Very proud to announce that, an actual broadcast television show in the next couple of weeks, finalizing the details there. Got a national reality TV show coming out soon as well, project we've been working on for a while. I'm a former USF football player, go Bulls, and played on the inaugural team under Coach Levitt. A lot of times people say, well, what's a real estate quarterback? Do you talk sports? What do you talk about? Well, hey, it's a metaphor. We're talking about how we're quarterbacking introductions. We're helping people establish that game plan. And for our listing clients, I'm a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. We're providing that game plan, and we're providing differentiation in the marketplace. Who else is going to market your real estate properties on radio, on TV, print advertising? We're dominating on the internet. We're doing a lot of different things that most other companies aren't doing. Jason's one of our expert buyer agents as well.
Exactly. And if you thought you were tired of seeing our faces before, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Absolutely. We got a lot of live events, things like that coming up. And we're the good guys here in Tampa Bay as well. We just raised a lot of money for Children's Cancer Center. We got Homestrong USA, where we give away a mortgage-free property to veterans for an active military. For every 25th to 30th property sold nationwide, we give away a mortgage-free property to ex-military active veterans, the first responders, all those types of folks that are associated. And also we work with Warwick Dunn Charities, helping help him as well with his endeavors. He's had 143 homes to date that he's helped single parents in conjunction with Habitat for Humanity gain home ownership. So shouts out to Warwick Dunn Charities.
Warwick Dunn. Warwick spins to the 10. He's to the 5, 4, 2. Touchdown.
All right, back in studio, Mac Tenant, Access Reverse Mortgage. What say you?
Well, it's great to be here. As usual, Brandon, appreciate you having me back. I want to talk about reverse mortgages today. That's what I do. That's my passion. I've been doing it for this is our 11th year. The big thing with reverse mortgages is it's a product for people age 62 and over. So it doesn't affect everybody, but so many people have this misconception that there's something negative. If you get a reverse mortgage, you've got some kind of financial difficulty in your life. Well, it's just not true. I mean,
right.
It's just not. It's not a rescue tool. It's a financial planning tool. And we're going to see in the next 5 years, I think this is going to become a very mainstream product as us as a baby boomer generation, well, me anyway. It's just a fact that there's not enough money to retire on for our generation. What we do have is primarily tied up in our homes. So you're going to see if you don't have a reverse mortgage, your parents are going to get one, or you're going to know somebody that does. So I really appreciate the chance to be here and talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a safe product as well. There's a lot of misconceptions out there. It was developed by the Reagan administration in the 80s, and the other name for it is the Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. I actually like that name a little better than a reverse, because that reverse kind of reminds me of Pop Warner football. You run the sweep to the right so many times, and you hit them with that reverse going to the left, right? So yeah, what do you think about the name of it?
Well, home equity conversion mortgage is what FHA.
Hi, Brandon Rhymes here, talking to you about our We Buy Houses Cash program. We will buy your house cash and fast,
and close in 24 to 48 hours. We'll give you a fair market value. We will not play any games in terms of what some of our competitors will do. What we've seen happen out there is in terms of putting options on your house, tying your property up. Those are things to be careful of. So call the trusted source for buying your house fast and cash. Brandon Rhymes, 813-917-1894. Please give me a call today. We'll get you a fast, accurate quote. We'll close on your property within 24 to 48 hours and to get you that cash that you need to move forward with your life. Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. You can also email me at brandon@brandonrhymes.com.